Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Bourky Cabinet featuring AJ and
Jessica.
Today's episode, we have a new bourbon for you guys called Johnny Drum. This one's also one that I do have to pick up a lot of times if I can find it because it's not that expensive.
Yeah, this one's about $30, $35 a bottle, so it's definitely on the cheaper side, which is nice. It has becoming a little bit harder to find here recently, but at the same time, it hasn't lost its spot on the shelf at where I work. So as far as I'm concerned, if you still got your shelf space, then you're not that difficult. So a little bit behind Johnny Drum here. It is owned by Willett, who is the Kentucky Bourbon Distillers. But it is naturally distilled under the name Johnny Drum Distilling Company. It is a sourced bourbon. However, their source is undisclosed. So not entirely sure exactly where it's coming from. I assume somewhere in the Willett grounds, but yeah, that again is an assumption. So don't like to do that. This one was developed in the 60s, originally exclusively for a California wholesaler, and then it just boosted so much in sales and everything that they started selling it in multiple other places as well. Johnny Drum, sorry, I said they at first, but Johnny Drum specifically, they have two different bottles that I personally have seen, which is the private stock, this one, and the black label, which is excruciatingly difficult to find. And then there is, from what I've heard and from doing my research, apparently there is a green label as well. I can't verify this, so I am not saying for sure that that's a third part of their lineup. If you go to Willett's website, there is absolutely nothing on this green label, but other people swear up and down that it's a legit thing. So I really have no explanation for that. The cute little story behind this, though, is that this Johnny guy, he was a drummer boy for the Confederate Army in 1861. And apparently after the war had happened and he went home and came to Kentucky, created his home. He had a bunch of corn plants there, and they were all getting to die. So he was trying to come up with a creative way to save his plants from completely losing all of his product, and ended up creating a bourbon. And this is supposedly like very similar to his mash build, but again, that's just a story, and not sure that it's actually the truth. But like he said earlier, this is one of his favorites. Yeah, let's just get right into it. Sorry, before we begin too, this is 101 proof.
101.
Just so everybody's aware. But yeah, let's get into the tasting and smelling and the shotting.
And the shooting.
Yeah. Well, I started off.
Shotting.
I was going to say and shots. And I was like, oh wait, no, everything else ended in an ing. So I fucked up like halfway through that word there. We all know. Yeah, alcohol rub. Smells so sweet though.
It does. I will say I smell, besides the alcohol rub, I feel like there's a hint of barrel, some caramel notes in there, some, is that molasses? No. No.
You don't really get straight molasses because molasses is such a pungent smell, but I would say definitely probably just like a straight brown sugar.
There we go.
Not like a dark brown sugar, which is with more molasses added to it. But a light brown sugar, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm getting out of it, at least. What about you?
I get, like I just said, light brown sugar. I get caramel notes. But I also get some berries out of it too. I I don't know, like almost like a dark berry smell. So ranging anywhere between dark cherries,
like a black cherry?
yeah, almost, yeah, like black cherry.
Okay, yeah. When I say it and then I sniff it again, I can see it. Alright, well, bottoms up. That's really smooth. That's crazy smooth for 100 proof. It goes down almost like it's in, like what, like an 80 proof?
An 80 for sure. Yeah.
There's a little heat on the back end. Nothing crazy.
Man, I've had 80 proofs that were harsher than this. Like it's just so smooth. It's just so smooth.
Yeah, that initial is smooth. But like I said, I do get some heat. I don't know about you.
Only in like my throat, like right here, where like if I had an Adam's, is that where your Adam's apple? No, it's a little higher. Like right below your Adam's apple. That's not where it's in.
Like basically where your neck meets your chest.
Yeah, the collarbone. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say that I get heat there as well. It doesn't really hug you. If you're doing it on an empty stomach, I'd imagine you might feel the drip and feel like a little warmth in your chest, but you're definitely going to feel it more in your neck for sure. But you won't feel nothing initially, that's for sure. It goes down hella smooth.
Yeah, it has almost like a buttery texture to it too, because it's, I don't know, like lingers around on your mouth and stuff, you know, like almost like oil and water whenever it mixes together. Got that little, but like buttery just kind of taste to me. But I get a lot of caramel out of it.
Oh, yeah, same.
I get a lot of those berry notes, well, I mean, the dark cherry notes too.
Yeah, I was getting some of those, and even the little bit of the light brown sugar.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I get more of the brown sugar after I swallow and start breathing. But super, I mean, it's nice. It's really nice, actually. I mean, yeah, it's an easy sipper. Got a lot of sweet notes. Yeah. Sorry, I don't really know where to go with this one. Like, I have nothing bad to say. Like,
so what would you rate this?
Based off of everything else we have had.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember everything. Is a lot. My memory is jank. I have the memory of a gnat. I would honestly, I'll give this one a 6.5. 6.5. Yeah, I'm give it a 6.5. And you?
I'd give it a 7. Solid 7, because I feel like it's not necessarily, because it's not bad. It's really smooth. It just seems like it's a pretty good all-arounder. To say the least, especially if it's something that before the pandemic is something that was easily findable for us. And it's usually, how much did you say it was?
Somewhere between 30 and 35. I think our shelf has it listed for like 32, so somewhere between 30 and 35.
So it's really, and for, again, it's 101 proof, so most 100 proofs I've noticed will be at least like $40.
At least at minimum 30, yes.
So definitely worth picking up if you can find it. It's not too hard to find too. I think it's the only one with the name, and
there's a nice uniqueness with this one too. I mean, as far as flavor profiles are concerned and what we have tried on this show before, that we have shown you all, like I was saying, with how sweet it is, it's definitely more sweet than most others that we have tried on here. I actually can't think of one that was sweeter that we've done for this show yet. I think this one might be the sweetest one we've done for this show. But it's so unique in its sweetness because it has that light brown sugary kind of taste mixed with that black cherry taste, which is really nice because a lot of companies, they'll either go for that straight molasses or a dark brown sugar-esque kind of taste, or the cherry. They don't try to blend those together, but they did it and they pulled it off. And it's really, really good. I mean, if you want something just out of your usual bourbon to have just to mix things up, this would be great. You know how they talk about having dessert wine? There's your dessert bourbon. The only other one that I've ever claimed to be a dessert bourbon before is Penelope's, oh gosh, one with the green label. I swear to God, it tastes just like a creme brulee. I can't remember what it's called at all. Light something, that's all I got for you. It's green label, that's it.
So you ready for these shots?
Yeah.
Sorry, I poured them kind of big.
Yeah, you did. Look at that. Going up to its tail. The booty. Covering the booty. Cheers, guys.
I probably won't take it all in the... No, I'll do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fuck it. Let's go.
It seems to be about the same. Still goes down really smooth. A little more heat, but it's mostly in the throat, I must say. That's where it stays for me, at least. It takes a minute for it to really get to you, too.
See, it's totally different as a shot. I forgot to mention this beforehand, but this is a sour mash. They don't give the specifics on like the ratios or whatever, but it is a sour mash bourbon. And wow, I don't taste that whenever I'm sipping it, but holy Jesus, it is coming through with that shot. Like, that's all I got was just sour mash on that back end, and that's it. Like, it took all the depth from it. I mean, they still retain some of the sweetness.
But it's definitely not as much.
Absolutely no cherry in the shot. Like, no cherry at all. It was like, it's a little bit of sweet, all sour mash. And that was very interesting.
I'd say for me, it's basically like a little bit of brown sugar, but nothing else. So enough to tease you, thinking you're going to get something sweet and be like, taste something, but you won't.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's not an easy shot, I'll tell you that much. And for someone that's over 100 proof, like, I could take these probably all day, even though I shouldn't.
So what would you rate the shot?
Honestly, I'm going to keep it the same. I'm going to keep it right out of 6.5. I like sipping it for the flavor aspects that I get out of it. I like taking it as a shot because it's just like taking a shot of smooth bourbon. I mean, it's still taking a shot of 80 proof in my mind and taste buds, you know, but it's obviously 101. So it's one that you would... If you're doing shots of this, you're probably going to have to watch yourself because you're not going to realize how much you're drinking because of the way it tastes. And then it's all going to hit you and you're going to be like, oh Lord, what did I do to myself? What was I thinking? Like, why was that so smooth? A lot of trouble. I can see a lot of trouble.
It definitely can be. I would say I too is going to keep my score the same. I'm going to also give it a 7 for the shot as well, because it doesn't really do anything special. It does seem to be different, but not out of the ballpark different. So it's like it's still like in the realm of being itself without being too noticeably different. So it is still smooth, no burn. At least initially, there's a little bit of burn afterward, but it's almost as if you're sipping it, you get like the same kind of burn. It's not more burn. So which is really interesting and very helpful if you are trying to get into use of tasting bourbon. So this would be a great starter, I would say, in order to like help you, because it's smoother and it'll help you get the tolerance up there a little bit.
I would say this is the second step to liking bourbon. Your first one should either be regular Penelope, Basil Hayden, or Eagle Rare. All three of those are watered down sweet bourbons. This is a sweet bourbon with more flavor. So it's literally the next step up in my opinion, because you still get a little bit of that barrel flavor out of it, whereas like the three I'd mentioned, you're not getting anything like.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but
so I gave it a double 7. She gives it a double 6.5, and yeah, so that's gonna do it for this episode of the Bourky Cabinet. On the next episode, get ready, new bourbon. That's all I can really say.
It's always new bourbon. But yes, we look forward to seeing you guys again, and until then, ja matane.
Hey, I like the way you ended it now. That was nice. That was nice to like come in there like that. You know what I'm saying?